I might have the most well-traveled seedlings on YouTube. These babies made the 264-mile trek up to the Door County place and had a 9-day visit up there. And apparently they enjoyed it because everybody's doing very well now that we're back at home. Join me. Our 9-day adventure in Wisconsin started at the Sister Bay Library for a Door County Seed Library seed packing event. There were 7 members in attendance at this event, and we packed 3 different types of seeds for giveaway. I was working on the Manitoba tomatoes. That is a particular type of tomato that I'm not familiar with, but as I'm told, it comes off quickly, so it's great for a northern garden. They're tasty. They're quite disease resistant. It is so fun to do something like this and be with a group of people that are like-minded and want to talk nonstop garden. The next morning, we decided to treat ourselves to breakfast out at Al Johnson's. They have goats on the roof during season, and 2 boutiques, a big beer fest area, and we sure enjoyed having breakfast. Al had a stuffed omelet, and I had lingonberries on top of Swedish pancakes, Swedish meatballs, and some eggs. It was wonderful. Then we walked down from there to the Sister Bay Marina and the outdoor concert area. It was gorgeous. While we were in Door County, of course, had to do several puzzles. This one was hard. It was hard because the picture was different from the puzzle itself. Ah, there's Jerry's. Can't wait till you reopen. Well, we went to the Waseda Farms finally after all of these years. It's an organic farm that raises beef, pork, and have chicken and laying hens. We actually got to feed the goats outside. They had peanuts for sale to do that. These guys were so friendly. We really enjoyed our time with them, and if it wasn't so cold outside, we probably would have stayed there a lot longer. But the meat that we purchased there, which is grass-fed beef and free-ranged, and they're grown in a way that it supports a thriving ecosystem, great soil microbes and so forth to keep it a diverse environment, friendly for the animals, and raise good food. It was so delicious. And we'll be going back here every time we come back to Door County. We wish we would have discovered this so much earlier. But now that we know about it, we'll utilize it. Door County started the re-establishment of wild turkeys in the area in the 80s, and now we have several. And it's just about time for the males to start their gobbling and strutting and puffing their feathers to lure the females. And not a very unusual sighting in Door County. Someone's front yard had a couple of deer. And on our way for a little treat, we went through one of many cherry orchards in Door County, which they're famous for. Now we've arrived for our little treat spot. This is just the cutest little cafe coffee shop. Al had a scone and I had a latte. Then it was home for a nice fire and finish a jigsaw puzzle. Well, this morning started out very foggy over the bayside. Almost looks like a rainbow was trying to happen in the back there. But it made for some very interesting, moody pictures. We had breakfast at the White Gull Inn. They're famous for a stuffed with cream French toast covered in Door County cherries, and Al had that. I had cherry pancakes, and it was another really delicious breakfast out. Driving along, we saw some very interesting vegetation in places that really stuck out with the red. Here's another spot on the bayside, and as you can see, it's just covered in ice at this point and snow as far out as you can see. You can't see any of the water. And oh, the first dragonfly of the season. It's a big one. Well, I attended a second seed packing event with the Door County Seed Library. This one was very well attended. It's the second to last one for the year. And there were 17 volunteers making very easy work of getting the last of those seeds packed. There'll be one more event after that, and then the seed library will be open for distribution on March 17th through 5 of the 8 library locations in Door County. Again, it was a great opportunity to network with other gardeners and see who's growing what and who's planning on saving seeds for the following seasons in their garden. In the blue there is Penny. Penny organized this whole seed library. It's fabulous. While I was there, I met Patrick Bard. He's one of the members of the library, and he has written a book. So off we went to the bookstore and picked up a copy. I'm excited to read that. Well, all good things come to an end, and we need to head on home. Pack my little seedlings that traveled with us for the week, my onions, celery, celeriac, and the garlic that I sprouted, as well as some microgreens, of which we've eaten most of them on the trip. Um, Come with me. Just to get an idea of how this little grow station worked this time, I put mylar over like a tunnel to reflect the light, and it worked out really great with the 2 little cheap grow lights that I have up there. Well, packing my little friends back up to go on home to Chicagoland with me, and we're heading out and past yet another orchard of fruit trees, apples and cherries mostly. Over the bridge in Sturgeon Bay, getting off the peninsula itself. At the back of this waterway is where all the shipping works happen. The ships come in for dry dock and repair over the winter. But there's one stop we had to make for cheese on the way out, and of course some melty sandwiches that were delicious. I am going to get my peppers sown now that I'm back home and it's time. I am just using some plant labels made out of, 6-pack previous plant labels. These work great. They're nice and short for under a humidity dome when you do it that way. Doing 9 varieties this year. Joe's Long Cayenne, and that's for the longest pepper challenge over at Allotment of the Dead, Jason's channel. The habanada, I liked that last year. It got better as the season went on in flavor. Corona de Toro, if you remember last year, we bought a plant from the nursery and it was not a Corona de Toro. It was some kind of mild hot pepper, not a sweet pepper. The Patchwork from row 7. Jimmy Nardello. Anaheim, oh man, I loved that for making powder last year. 2 kinds of paprika, the Hungarian and the Alma that I did last year, and jalapeno. So I'm going to get those going right now. Well, this part was pretty straightforward. I used an off-the-shelf mix of perlite, cocoa coir, and a bit of feed. It worked really great for the onions. I had a little bit of room in the tray, so I got some herbs on the go as well. And after I finished sowing, I topped it with some vermiculite. Now all that's left is to get these babies watered in, under grow lights, and of course record what I did in my garden journal. Well, this week's video again was something a little different. The trip to Door County, 2 seed events, etc. And I'm glad you wanted to join me. And I hope you'll come back again. Remember, sometimes the only thing we harvest is knowledge, and that's okay. Bye for now, and we'll see you on the next one.